Hello everyone, welcome to Borderlands 4 character showcase. I'm going to be showcasing today this build I've been running. I currently just hit UVHM5 with it, been running a few things with it. I thoroughly believe this is probably, without a doubt, my favorite Rafa build. So, I'm going to get right into it. Of course, running Peacebreaker cannons with Bullet Buddy Deluxe. I went down fully down the left side here. The gun damage, can never say no to. I contemplated getting the fire rate, but with the build, with how I'm running it, we currently just have so much fire rate that I didn't really need to see a purpose of having more of it. Huerga, going in criticals. This is just to keep the action skill running longer, I will say, because of Dancer Com. You kind of want to keep it running as long as you can. But we have other ways around it as well. Just trying to basically keep it up as long as we can for like those longer combats or whatever. Or resilience, just for some survivability. Uh, Everdrive, just actually, I kind of got these because we don't really have any like splash damage in here, and this is just it. It gives you like a little extra boost after your action skill is up. I mean, it's better. Like you got to put points here to get down into Tamario, which is the main reason why we go down here. We don't really like need Everdrive. If you want to run this build with more splash damage, I definitely would recommend going Barrage over Everdrive, but personally, I don't really run any splash damage, so Overdrive does the work for me. Temerario actually is just absolutely busted, so obviously running that. And then I don't put a point in the Soltado because I have a Dancer Com, and I've learned apparently these do not stack. So there is no point of putting the point here, and you can save the point to put in somewhere else that you would rather have. And then all the rest of our points right now, at least, are into Blue Tree for mainly ammo. We want a lot of. There's a lot of good like ways of getting like your action skill back here with or like buffs in it as well. So we get like Las Charas for the ammo regen. This is going to be really important when we get more into the build, as well as here we are more fire rate. This is where I get most of my fire rate. I mainly chose it here rather than in the red tree because this in total gives you 45% fire rate as opposed to here with 5 points you'd only have 20. And we get and then we get Al Centro for more gun handling and action skill. If you don't have the exact build, like if you want to run this with like another gun, I'd recommend that point that you didn't put into Soltado and put it in the metal management just for more spray and pray. That's the main core of this build is spray and pray. We're basically the whole concept is we're holding down the trigger and not letting go. So metal management definitely helps if you want to run other weapons with this. The way I run it, I don't need to worry about this, and so I recommend also doing it. We don't really need too much else here. This can be helpful, but at least like I said, I don't have reloads, so I don't really bother putting any points into here. And then we go down here get Jacques for the more overdrive bonus. This does stack with Soltado, so it is definitely worth putting points into this. And we get the rest of our last points go into Mate for uh, the cooldown rate. This overall, if you get at least when we get more levels in later DLCs, which likely is going to happen, it's always been the case. I would like to max this out, of course, because if you get full stacks of this, you get full stacks of this, and this full stacks, at least right now, is 40% or 40% cooldown rate, as opposed to if I were to have put the points in the Devil May Care at max here, that's only 20. So in like the longer combats, you get double the cooldown rate with this over the other one, and plus you're not getting the downside of the damage taken. I would like to have both, but of course we only are limited to 50, so I've done with it what I can. Moving over into like the actual build itself, everything else here is just for the sake of having it. Uh, you don't really need any of these. If you want for like while your action skill is down to abuse the songbird, he minus likely will get patched in future patches. So might not be as useful later, but at least for right now, there isn't really like if you just want to use this while your action skill is down, which I haven't ran into that case yet because of stuff we'll get into later, but the other ones I have just because I was like proud of getting them. They don't really. This is the main thing we want is the Golden God. So I believe this might also be another weapon that is bugged. Not, I don't think it can be bugged. It's bugged as badly as say the Songbird, but the Golden God is right now, as far as I can see, it's so the main thing you want about it is the rage is when overheating, rather than breaking, it just consumes greater amounts of ammo. However, with these greater amounts of ammo consumption, I've also learned it kind of bugs out and will constantly consume more ammo. I can show you here. If I fire once, I went from 120 to 95, so it just took 25 bullets in a shot. But I've learned that probably would have killed any trash mob in the game with that one shot. So that is the main thing. So we're going to be abusing this Golden God with all of our ammo regen that we have through like Bullet Buddy Deluxe gives us more ammo regen. On top of that we get all of this from Lasharas, and that combined makes it to where you can almost indefinitely just hold down left like your fire button and never let go. And you can just literally just I'll show you later on that you just go around and do not stop firing. Uh, Rep kit, obviously running triple bypass. Triple bypass is really good for now with caffeine, which I'll say we are running. That gives us basically I've saw with this build at least, as soon as my overdrive ends, I just pop all 3 reps of triple bypass. I have my action skill again, and usually after the second use of an action skill, you'll be through almost any combat. If not, you have other options at least until, and you with the fact that you get a 30% chance to replenish one. If you don't get all 3 charges, you usually are like getting at least 2, so you can be basically like 6 seconds without having your action skill up, and you can just use something else like a songbird, or I like using the spread launcher in that meanwhile as well if there's any big enemies still alive. Running crit knife. This is only a level 37. I have a level 51. I've just been kind of lazy on putting Deadeye on it to actually use it, but I mean, I should say I'm still having no problems with like any enemies in the game using a level 37 version of this crit knife. So that should just go to show that there isn't really much need for level. Just as long as you have the crit knife, that is what matters. Of course, running Dancer Com, I could get a much better Dancer Com. I just haven't taken the time to farm yet. This is the best one I've got right now. This is the main reason why I haven't really been worried about the fire rate though, is because this one at least gives me a +4 into my fire rate, which is allowing me to get the 45%. It would be a lot less. It'd be, I'm trying to do the math in my head. It would be 25%, which is still, I mean, the reason why it's still greater than this skill, but with the +4, it just makes it blown out of the water. And then fireworks. I like the fireworks mainly like because I like using the missile swarms because you're just running around firing so much that I don't ever really I kind of have a hard time seeing like where the enemies are, and the firework missile swarms actually help me track down where the enemies are just because you're spraying and praying so much. If you just follow your firework missile swarms, you shouldn't have much of a problem like actually just taking care of more enemies. And then I want to get a better one of these, but I'm running a Binger. mainly for the high roller. So with having this being a ripper gun, we get uh, basically up to 50% bonus damage. It's just more damage. It just makes this gun more ridiculous than it already is. And then we're running triple Deadeye, double high caliber. The triple Deadeye, just because it's a crit knife, just running crits just gives you a lot more damage. It's really good. And the accuracy also kind of helps because you're spraying and praying. You're going to need a lot of accuracy and like gun handling to make up for the fact you're spraying and praying. And I can kind of show you how it's almost nullified with this. I think that's another part of the bug, but you'll see. Uh, and high caliber, just more gun damage. Not much to say there. Uh, and lastly, moving over to specializations, uh, I've just kind of been putting points wherever right now because I have what I want. You want riddle you this is just 50 stacks, 50% more gun damage. It really is, it doesn't hurt to have. Might as well. Most important one to me is now with caffeine because uh, using the like I said, this combined with the triple bypass, you have enough cooldown on this build to where 3 reps of the triple bypass is enough to give you your action skill back immediately after. And then I am a gun, just more damage. You don't really need. You could put this point if you want more survivability. Like bullets are scared of me when it hurt. Uh, the best defense, if you really wanted to. Uh, either or could work. And then bullet train is also really good because you can sprint in hit fire, so you just get around faster, spray and pray, get to the enemies faster, more of it, and you're doing more damage. It's all just makes it so much better. Uh, but yeah, so I'm standing outside of the big encore for this week, outside of Queen's Cradle. I'm gonna run in, gonna show you kind of like a mobbing section of the map with the area outside, and then just drop in, and I can show you it against a boss as well. So we're gonna just go in and do that. And we pop our action skill, and here we go. Just notice how I don't even let off the trigger. And I found that enemy with a firework. I got a world drop even. That helps. That's cool. We'll check that out after. Every once in a while I found your gun will, quote unquote, like, it will register that your gun is out of ammo, so you'll have to like re-click your fire, but not often enough. And then as you can see, I ran out. I just popped 3 actions of my rep kit. That one I didn't even really need to pop all 3, but I did. And we got our action skill back. And we got a blood analyzer, okay. So, for another little fun tip for this, you don't really need to go all the way back through Queen's Cradle. Once you open up this elevator, you just drop down, all the way down. You can go through here. Heck, if you even want to, you get a... Oh wait, never mind, I lied about that part, but just go through there, and here we are at the fight. Don't even really even need to worry about buying ammo either if you're low on ammo. You just... Because as long as you have bullets, even though it says... Even though, like I showed you earlier, I was consuming 25 bullets, like, look at that. I didn't even use the crit knife that time, but I can show you one more time with the crit knife how faster it is. And then I just grab. I also like grabbing all the loot because if you get 2 in the farming, you can cause lag. I've had it happen a couple times, at least on my run, my rig. And the red chest, this red chest is really nice if you don't have the crit knife. If you aren't running a crit knife and need one, this is red chest. Red chests are really good because the 2 side rolls always roll either a shield, ordnance, or like class mod, and you really want, and it's like a lot more stricter of a pool for it. That's really helpful. So we pop it, crit knife, and he's dead. It, like, I'm, I wouldn't be surprised if they nerf this gun and make that not a thing anymore. So, if you do, like, put all your resources into this build, if you don't have many, be cautious about that. I also, but, yeah. I will say that this build has made this game a lot of fun, and it's just really fun to just run around and just melt everything. Uh, I did forget to show, if you do want a golden god, it is all the way over in the Fade Fields at Fortress Indomita, and you just need to kill Idolator Soul. He drops the golden god, best place to get that. If you want the triple bypass, that comes from also the Fade Fields. I'm going the wrong way. That also comes from the Fade Fields. If I am correct, is dropped by the Back Hive. I could easily be corrected if I'm wrong. I don't have stuff as memorized in this game as I do other Borderlands games, but and then the Dancer Com comes from the exact same place as the Golden God. So if you're trying to get this build online, Idolator Soul is a really great place to farm because not only you're going to be rolling for this gun, which I do recommend if you can. I don't know if it's guaranteed, but try to get the Jacob's license part for the critical hits because if you're running crit knife, you're going to be critting all the time, and it just makes all that damage go elsewhere and hit more enemies, so you're killing things even faster. Fireworks, if you don't already know, is all the way down in here, Splash Zone, the first boss of the game, and then the Binger enhancement, as far as I know, are only world drops. If you were to want more, if there is been confirmed a place to farm these, I would love to know because I do not know. But I also got this while farming Idolator Soul, but that's just was just my probably my luck. You can probably get it from anywhere as a world drop, just getting lucky. And just one more run just to show. I took enough of a break there where I didn't need to pop my rep kits to get my last mod back. But you just lay into him. He's dead already. No time at all. And it's easy like that. The only warning I will say is if you are loading in for the first time, it kind of resets this gun when you save quit, and it will do a lot less damage starting out. So oh, look here, we got a knife. It's not the crit knife, but it is a knife. So proof that knives do drop there. But it's not guaranteed that this like starts off as strong as I am showing because it will start only firing one bullet at a time, and the longer you use it, the more those bullets stack up and the more damage you do. One thing I've learned is if you fire it and you're out of ammo, rather than just rep kitting to get back up to full, swapping to another gun and using it for a bit until it's back up and swapping back, I've or found that more likely than not that kind of does help as well. But yeah, I haven't really done one of these like build showcases before, so I know it's not perfect, but I hope if you do run this build you enjoy it. And if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to leave them down in the comments below. Or if anything you think you could do better about the build, be sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, I will see if I do more of these. I will see you all next time. Later.